It's 19 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Lori, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim. I am the announcer, and here's Tom and Holly McGraw.
You know what?
We do?
And Bob.
All right. Well, I'm just getting a little yoga lesson as...
Nice.
Oh,
You could go out like
that's
this.
good. Well, we could go out like this,
yeah.
but people would talk.
Drop this down.
Jim, while I'm conjoining with Allie, what else is coming up on the FX Day? Oh, this is good.
Deconstruct some great sounds we hear a lot, like "Row." On Personal FX. Suzanne Wong is with a fire engine super collector in Lafayette, Indiana. Suzanne?
That's right, Jim. Check this out. Is this the most incredible fire engine you've ever seen? I'm living out a dream come true here today in Lafayette, Indiana. We're going to be taking a look at a Lafayette lawyer's fantastic collection of fire engines, some of which date back 100 years later on Personal FX.
And then later on FX, Wonder Woman must convince a gullible Air Force officer that he doesn't need to launch a nuclear missile and avoid... And then finally on Batman, the Joker wants to build a flying saucer. Woo, 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 woo. Will the dynamic duo be able to stop them? Watch on FX today.
Oh, man, it's like stylish yoga today.
Yoga and lace-up shoes. It's a whole new way to go.
I feel invigorated. Lori, how you doing?
I'm feeling good. I was just flipping through the November issue of Cosmopolitan magazine. They've devoted a couple of pages to May-December romances, specifically older men and younger women, although the situation of younger men and older women is also prevalent among celebrities and other people. That's why we've asked Nathan Newman, our relationship expert, to come and give us a few words of advice if you're planning to date out of your generation.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily planning, but I mean, in some cases people do make a specific choice that way, but a lot of times it's just that you fall for somebody and they happen to be older or younger, sometimes significantly. I mean, you want to make a commitment, a monogamous relationship, and it just sort of evolves that way.
So is anything wrong with it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, wrong is a value judgment word anyway. It's certainly different than what society looks upon as the standard, so you have to keep that in mind. But there's no right or wrong here, I don't think.
So what's a guy looking for when he dates a younger woman?
When a man's dating a younger woman, it offers certain it offers certain advantages to him. I mean, it's sort of recapturing lost youth a little bit, and you know, men do like to be seen with a younger, attractive woman, that trophy thing, which we don't want to get into on today's segment. But and likewise, there are also advantages if you're dating an older woman, because then you get this sort of wisdom of experience and this nurturing quality and stuff that you may not get with somebody else. I mean, I married a woman 7 years older.
He did?
So, yeah.
Any problems? I mean,
no,
what pops
absolutely.
up? Anything?
No. I mean, occasionally people, at first people thought it was a little unusual, but like I said, they tend to come around when they see the love and the support. If the relationship works as it should, you know, then it works out fine.
You brought up a really good point. What about if you have friends or family who are like, you know,
that's
too
one
old,
of the
too young?
that's one of the things you have to keep in mind. I mean, the social aspect can be a little tricky because your friends are usually your age group and this new person's friends are her age group. So if there's 15 years apart, you know, it's a little tricky trying to mix those two things. And there are a couple of other things that you have to bear in mind, too. I mean, commonality is a big issue here in terms of the experience that the two of you have had. If there's 15, let's say, just arbitrarily, 10 or 15 years between you, you may have come from very different, maybe you one went to Woodstock and the other went to the other Woodstock,
Right.
you know?
You know who does great movies about this is Woody Allen. If anyone ever saw
sure, yeah.
Husbands and Wives, it's a classic example of
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last thing, of course,
Woody lives it.
Yeah, what am I saying in a movie? Yeah.
I'll stay off of that one. But and then, of course, you know, the most obvious one is the biological clock. I mean, if you're with somebody older, you know, you got to get busy pretty quickly if you want to have kids. And if you're with somebody younger, sometimes maybe you're going to want them, and she's going to want to concentrate on her career and so forth. So it's a timing thing. It can be very tricky.
I'm going to open it up to Patricia. Have you ever dated out of your generation?
Yeah, when I was 21, I was engaged to someone who was 13 years older. Okay, 13. Well, but obviously it didn't happen. But yeah, there was a little bit of a problem, especially with my friends and his friends, and just the social, pretty much the social part of it was difficult.
It's really tricky, even finding activities that you can all do together, because your interests are going to be different sometimes, you know, just by virtue of the fact that you're more experienced, more maturity, or whatever.
Now, that's the older man, younger woman, but Dan, you said you've always dated older women.
Actually, before I married my wife, one of the things that I always did was always dated older women because they were more established and they knew where they were going in life, and they weren't looking for anything. They didn't want anything from you. As well, if anybody had a problem with it, you could hit them with their walker. So it was pretty good. But I do agree.
Trip to get to the punchline.
No, but it's true. You do get a more grounded individual that way, and setting up the family is easier too, you know, as I've found. So the bottom line is this can absolutely work. It's different than what people are used to, what you're used to maybe, but I mean, if the relationship has the support and the love there, don't worry about the age difference. It's irrelevant.
All right, dating out of your generation. Nathan Newman, our relationship expert, giving us some well-deserved, well-needed advice. Thank you. Not that I'm dating out of my generation, but, you know, others do, right?
Like Anna Nicole Smith had a lot in common with that, you know, there was the money. And, Jim, what else is coming up?
You've heard people call the salt of the earth? Well, we'll take an up-close look at that salt. Coming up on Breakfast Time.
Is your collection so colossal, you've run out of space in your place?
Where do you take a shower?
You're not alone. See a different super collector every day on Personal FX, the collectible show, only on FX.
Trust me. Okay. Mom, do you know how good hot chocolate chip cookies are?
Oh, yeah.
You know how good they smell?
Oh, yeah.
And how the chocolate gets all melty all over your fingers?
Oh, yeah.
Well, don't Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies bake up hot and fresh in less than 15 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Wow! You were right.
Oh, works every time.
New Bounty Medleys introduce the most colorful country prints in the country. They're the Quilted Quicker Pretty Upper. Because they're a world of color. Prettier, cozier than ever before.
The Quilted Quicker Pretty Upper.
All new Bounty Medleys.
Lucky ducks, we're having so much fun. Lucky ducks, trying to find the right one. Lucky ducks, we're so lucky we found you. When you play, you get a colored ducky. Then you find another and hope that you get lucky.
Lucky Ducks is the game full of ducky sounds preschoolers love.
Lucky ducks, we're so lucky we found you.
Lucky Ducks, the ducky first game from Milton Bradley.
Hi, I'm Marvin Freeman, pitcher with the Colorado Rockies.
I'm Arnetta Freeman, Marv's wife. My mother suffers from the chronic illness of lupus. She has had lupus for 5 years, and our entire family has learned the hard way about this autoimmune disease.
If you experience fatigue, joint and muscle pain, skin rash, hair loss, or organ problems, I urge you to call the Lupus Foundation of Colorado at 832-2131. They can help you.
In my sister Nicole's memory, we've created the Nicole Brown Simpson Charitable Foundation. With this pin, we're raising desperately needed funds for local organizations that shelter and protect women and children who are victims of family violence. For a contribution of $20, you'll receive the gold-plated Guardian Angel pin, plus a personal note of thanks from our family.
We need you to call now. Please help stop this senseless abuse.
Please call now, 1-800-362-8666.
It's 11 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Lori, Tom, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim. I am the announcer, and here's Tom and Ollie McGraw.
I gotta tell you, this is the best. The best get going. I got a ring from Carol Channing, and I'm hanging out with Ollie McGraw. You know?
I mean, how...
And my wife's not watching. So, let's go in the one room we've neglected so far, the bedroom. We haven't been to the bedroom, and our little wart-laden sock is already here.
I've been waiting all day for this.
Here you go. Would you? He's been deprived of your charm.
No, don't do it.
Give Bob his due.
Color coordination? Is that why you're here?
I was trying to blend in with the apartment.
Yeah, that'll
Did you
never
get this
happen.
diamond this morning from Carol Channing?
No, I didn't, but it could be yours.
What is it that I have to do?
Oh,
just be you.
While Allie and Bob do some bonding, we go back to the salt mines of Utah, Ogden, Utah, the North American Salt Company, and Phil Kogan is there. Phil?
Yes, good morning to you again, Tom and Allie, and I want to show you the process. In the last hour, we showed you how they take the salt from the flats. Now I want to show you the process of going about and packaging this salt up before they send it out to the consumer. This is a big hopper here. I'm going to wave this big truck to come through. And what happens is these trucks come up on here and dump all the salt in, and there are a number of conveyor belts. You can have a look down here. These conveyor belts right here take all the salt along so that they can wash it. We had to get our truck started from way in the background because the salt gets very, very slippery. If you have a look right here, it's kind of like ice. So we had to get a run-up. to coming up the hill. That's why he's moving so slowly. I want to introduce you to the plant.
Phil?
Whoa, that's a hole, Rick. Yeah.
That creates a whole dilemma. What do you put on slippery salt?
Ice.
Yeah.
Good questions. Very good question. All right, we got to get out of the way of the truck here. I want to introduce you to Rick, who's the plant supervisor.
Wait a
He always asks the
minute.
difficult questions. Rick, tell us about what happens here. These trucks can carry 60 ton?
Yeah, they carry between 60 and 65 ton per truck. They dump here in the hopper, goes along conveyor belts, over into some wash tubs, which we have over here. They're pre-washed into brine water to keep from dissolving as much crystal as possible. Then they go up on a dewatering belt.
Now we won't. Can we see what's going to happen here with this hopper? Is it going to open up? It might be in the background. Be able to see when they drop all the salt.
Hopper took
But
a
Tom, the salt is crystallized at this point. So when they come up here, have a look at these washers right here.
Oh, that's a dentist hopper.
These washers down here wash out a whole lot of impurities. What are some of the things you're trying to get rid of out of here, Rick?
We're trying to get rid of all of the surface dirt that comes out of the ponds, lower the sulfates, clean up the salt, so when we send it to the salt plant, it's a little bit cleaner and makes a better product. It goes along a dewatering belt here, and then up to a screening system where we have some plus 12 screens.
Now, Tom, at this point, what they're trying to do is separate the coarser stuff with the finer stuff. Remember, this is not salt that you'll find on the kitchen table. This is salt that's used for industry. You can see all these big shakers up here. It's going through like a sieve system here. It comes down and it's graded. The fine stuff goes up along this belt. The rough stuff goes off in the opposite direction. Now, Rick, when you're washing the salt like this, don't you lose some of the salt? Doesn't it dissolve?
We only lose about 10% of our salt because it does not stay on the screens for very long at all.
Now, what about the water content? I mean, if it's being washed, it's getting wet. Isn't it, you were trying to dry it out before, now it's getting wet again.
Well, the salt crystals are pretty much formed already. All you're doing is rinsing them off. We're only going to lose the smallest stuff, and the salt dries pretty quick while it's out here on these piles.
Let's have a look at some of the products that are made.
I have such a craving for French fries. I don't know why.
The rock of Gibraltar. Over in the distance, there's a processing plant where they can package all this salt, but this is where they store it all. And I want to introduce you to Brandon. He's one of the packaging experts here. Tell us about some of the products that come out of the salt that you harvest here.
Well, this is just 3 of the many different types of products that we run. We have 40-pound solar cubes. We also run 50-pound and 80-pound. We have 40-pound extra cores and 50-pound pellets.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the salt licks that cows use. I don't know if you've ever seen out I've seen it in New Zealand. Cows get in and they lick these, right, to get salt, because they need salt just like us?
Yeah, this is just 3 of 10 different types of products that we run.
Yeah. And they have different flavors, I presume, right here with the different colors.
You usually take it out of the box first, though.
Everything you wanted to know about salt and more from Utah, Tom.
Hey, look, Lot's wife.
All right. Thanks a lot, Phil. Remarkably, that's the only Lot reference we've made in 2 whole segments.
Turn to the Bible.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, lick some more. You'll feel like Job. Laurie?
Thank you very much. We're going to wrap things up, so come on back with us, won't you?
FX invites you to solve a mathematical word problem.
I'll try.
If 8 kids live in one house with 1 parent, 1 step-parent, 8 visiting in-laws, divided by 3 bathrooms, times 10 loads of dirty laundry, how long will it take for Tom Bradford to totally lose control?
45 seconds.
I quit.
Watch 8 is Enough on FX every day at 1 noon Central and solve all of life's tricky problems.
Me? Prom queen?
Well, maybe not all.
Keep up.
See you up there. Fun, huh?
Oh, God. Hey, Mom. Did you leave any dirt out there?
Hey, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, what you got? Okay, listen up. We got some purple stuff, OJ, soda. Sunny D, I'll take one. Oh, yeah.
Hey, tastes like orange, tangerine, and lime.
Some healthy junk, too. Sunny D to go. All right.
Sunny Delight, the good stuff kids go for.
Huggies Supreme answers wishes every day.
with its soft cloth-like cover and tabs from Velcro USA. And now there's the $1 Million Huggies Supreme giveaway. Win one of 10 grand prizes of a $100,000 bond. Or win sweatshirts, sneakers, prizes galore, plus valuable coupons in every specially marked package. $1 Million giveaway, and one winner could be you. There's no time to waste, so head to the store and make your wish come true.
Iams understands that the simple act of petting a dog can make people healthier and happier. It's even been suggested that people who own dogs lead longer, fuller lives. Now, knowing what dogs do for you, wouldn't it be nice to do the same for them? You can, by feeding your dog Iams every day. It's more nutritious because its quality ingredients are more digestible. Iams dog food, good for life. From the Iams Company.
In 994 AD, the Gargoyles' castle was destroyed. 1,000 years later, they've landed somewhere new, at Burger King. Now your kids can get a Kids Club meal with a tasty flame-broiled hamburger, fries, and a drink, plus one of 5 incredible Gargoyles action toys from the Gargoyles TV series. They can battle the forces of darkness with the Spin Attack Broadway or the Sparkling Spinner, all for a rock-bottom $1.99. Now at Burger King, you'll find great value and some very interesting characters. That's getting your burger's worth.
The city never sleeps. When we go home, the professional cleaners go to work with their Pro Strength cleaning formulas, like Pro 409 Spray Cleaner, super concentrated for the toughest cleaning jobs. To clean like a pro, get Pro 409.
It's just the morning and you don't need to caffeinate it for two.
Wake up to Folgers Coffee Singles, made with ground roast decaffeinated coffee for one freshly brewed cup.
The best part of waking up
Is Singles in your cup.
2 minutes to the top of the hour. Here's the whole gang.
Indeed. Gonna wrap this up. Thanks to Ali McGraw, Mind and Body, and to Carol Channing for joining us. Hello Dolly going on Broadway. To Phil at the North American Salt Company. Nice stuff, Phil.
Thank you very much. I want to thank all the people for helping us out. I'm on a pile of a lot of salt. We'll see you tomorrow in the haunted house.
All right, Spencer at Ramsey High School in Ramsey, New Jersey. Spencer?
We'd like to thank Dodge Neon, the drunk driving program, and of course all the students here. Drive safe, drive sober.
Indeed, good
Thank
words.
you, Spencer. Please join us tomorrow. Amy Yazbek will be here from Wings, and Ty Englund is going to sing for us. It's going to be a great show.
Personal FX coming up next. Have a good day, everybody.
Good day.
Bye. Thanks, Helen. Pleasure.
Hi, I'm Jane Fergus with a last look at breakfast time headlines. 3 more funeral services will be held today for 3 teenagers killed in last week's school bus train collision near Chicago. The 7th and last of the victims will be buried tomorrow. Meanwhile, officials have completed their on-site investigation, but they say it could be months before the cause of the crash is released. The Atlanta Braves victory parade is set to start in just a few minutes. The Braves clinched the World Series title Saturday night, beating Cleveland 1-0 in the 6th game. And finally, the Fonz. Henry Winkler celebrates a cool 50th birthday today. That's news.